Hello, world. It is I, Ryan, aka Crownson's Corner. This is the Healing Chefs podcast, and if you don't know, Healing Chefs, what it is all about is to me, chef just means leader, a chief. Like everyone can be a cook, not everyone can be the chef, but I think everybody that I have on here is a chef in their own way, a leader in their own life. Yes, you are. And today's guest chef is Brittany, aka Consciouscalmchaos. Some sort of alliteration there or something. I don't know how to.
You're right.
Okay, sick. I used a good word. I'm smart today. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for coming. I'm excited, and let's go ahead and jump into our first segment, which is cannabis journey. Go ahead and play the. All right. So cannabis journey is all about how you found cannabis and where you're at with it now, stuff like that.
Cool. Okay. So I was exposed to cannabis probably in my early teens from Iowa. So there wasn't a lot to do besides drink and do drugs, and definitely didn't have an intentional use with it back then.
Yeah, for sure.
But definitely, we were probably smoking weed, drinking alcohol every single night, and not in a healthy way, but in my teenage years, I could have cared less about like what I was doing, and I was extremely reckless.
Mm-hmm.
So that was then. And then when I went to college, I dabbled a little bit in it, and then something happened to my friend who actually moved here to Arizona, and he was a drug dealer and he ended up passing away here. So I stopped smoking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They like murdered him, put his body in the desert, like some really fucked up shit.
Well,
so I was anti-cannabis for
you have to do something to earn that, though.
Yeah, he actually just stuck up for a girl. Yeah. And like who got ripped off. But yeah, so I quit smoking weed for.
I guess that's enough.
Yeah. I mean, it
Fuck,
just
bro.
took that one thing for
Shit,
me to
man.
say, like,
Whoever's mad at me, I'm sorry.
yeah, but like it wasn't legal, like, so that's why I had such a problem with it, because he was doing it illegally. I was so nervous. My friends would still smoke, and I had a problem with it because I'm like, you don't know who's dying for it. Like, you don't know who's growing it. You know nothing about it.
I don't think I ever really associated
Yeah.
dying with weed ever,
No.
even.
No.
I mean, I guess like back in the day, we would get stuff from like MCs and stuff like that. And I mean, I guess if you look at it all, that's really there. Also, I'm smoking this Alien Left thing. Do you want to hit this stuff? But
Sure.
go ahead. I'm sorry,
No,
but
good.
so yeah, you're like you didn't want to be about it and stuff because like obviously you don't know who's like paying the price for the little shit that yeah.
Exactly. And I was the only one of my friends who had that perspective. So then eventually I moved out here to Arizona. I was still drinking like crazy. And the reason I moved out here was because I got off probation in Iowa because I had 2 OWIs from drinking alcohol. So instead of smoking weed, that's what I was doing. And I was destroying my life. Yeah. So I moved here, almost got pregnant like right away, immediately, quit drinking, quit smoking cigarettes. And then life just kind of happened, and then my mental health was still not doing any better.
Right.
Like I was still kind of drinking alcohol, still struggling, and then I ended up just being one day like, I need to get my medical card. Like something just like none of my friends were using cannabis, but the more I was like exposed, the more research I got into, because I'm a huge nerd. I love research. I love science. I needed to figure out something that was helping. And I was on antidepressants. It wasn't helping me. I was on anxiety meds. It wasn't helping me. So I got my medical card mostly for, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So I was in lots of pain. And ever since that, I got my medical card. I never looked back. So that's where we are now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now, when you started with cannabis and whatnot, was it obviously it was like flower, obviously in Iowa, because I know back in Missouri we had the stuff full of seeds and everything, and
Sticks and stems.
yeah, and having to put it on the tray and just to lift it up so they like most of the seeds would roll out,
Yep.
or you would have a designated person like you're picking this shit out. The
Yeah.
person that never bought.
That's what usually we did.
Yeah.
Me and my best friend, we would go on blunt routes because like we didn't smoke where we were because obviously we were teenagers. So she would drive and we'd go out in the country and I would roll up the blunt and do everything
Memory
else.
unlocked. Yeah, that's definitely a thing in Missouri. But I did a little bit out here in high school. We would hit the highways and stuff like that, but that was when we were like allowed to go off campus and stuff in high school. But yeah, for sure, when I was younger in Missouri, we would just go for drives.
Yep.
Definitely got in a couple car accidents doing that.
We have a lot of corn. Yeah. Like, what are we going to do? Crash into the corn?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, someone like I pulled out in front of somebody or someone hit me, but like luckily they took everything with them. But like as soon as I pulled over, like everyone in the car just went, boom, and then they took off. And I'm like, I guess I'm sitting here waiting for the cows and stuff. But yeah, I got away with that one, luckily. I had to pay for the insurance and shit. But.
Do you remember gnoming? Have you ever gone gnoming when that was that thing in like high school where you would like go and steal a gnome from someone's porch? Have you ever heard of that?
No,
absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, well that's what we would do in
sometimes
Iowa.
Sometimes I'm like, that's a real white thing.
It is. But what are we gonna do? So we're gonna go steal gnomes.
The dude said, absolutely not.
No. Anyways, we stole a pelican because we couldn't find any
white.
gnomes. I'm very white. But we had weed in the car and we got pulled over, but the officer found the fucking pelican, not the weed. And I'm like, that's the one thing you care about.
Oh shit.
Probably because we're like 5 or 6, little white high school girls. You're not searching for that. So it's like I have all these things I don't know how we got away with.
That's crazy. Now I didn't get away with one in around the time, but what I got away with was we were walking down the street, and those like little horse thing for when they do construction with the lights flashing on them and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I had a buddy in Missouri that had one in his room, and I don't know how he got it.
Stealing, obviously.
No, like he knew, but he told me that he knew somebody and got it and stuff like that. So when I was out here in Arizona, I was like walking with the buddies, and we had already gone to Circle K. We had Jinko jeans on at the time.
The baggy thing.
All right, this is I'm getting real Caucasian here. All right, we had Jinko jeans on, and we were stealing tall boys because we would put them into our pockets because they would put the cases by the bathroom, and we would go in there and we just like put the stuff in there. So we ended up getting caught with the alcohol and stuff. But the reason we got caught was my stupid ass who is breaking off lights. And we were carrying the shit with us. And the funniest part was like when the cops pulled up and spotlighted us, I just had this light and it's flashing. So it's like I just went, huh, like threw it in the middle of a yard. And I still had the alcohol in my pockets. And I was just like, oh, we're so fucked. But they're like, we saw it, like basically. I don't remember what they said, but yeah. They just ended up taking us home and shit. But like the dumb shit that I've done when I was a kid. Yeah.
Shapes you who you are today. Personally, I'm like, my kids will never get away with anything because I did it all.
Yeah, I think every parent says that, and then I tried to I don't know, I won a couple of them battles. I don't know, but let's see here. We can go ahead and jump into our next segment, which is Trip Tales.
Trip Tales.
Okay.
If my mouse can work.
Click. All right. So Trip Tales is all about psychedelic experiences. If you've had them, if you want to know anything, also like I'm well versed. I have taken a lot of ketamine and stuff, done a lot of ketamine treatments and stuff to turn myself around from that being that real reactive Ryan that I used to be to the guy that can kind of like just shut shit off nowadays and process it better. Personal growth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's even in the next segment, which is mental health. But like, have you had any like psychedelic experiences? Have you microdosed? Have you thought about microdosing ketamine?
Definitely.
So many questions.
Yeah. So, going back to Iowa, I mean, everything was at my disposal. Anything we could get.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything. So we would do like shrooms covered in chocolate, and most of the time I would just fall asleep. But
There are those strains. Yeah,
going back, my drug of choice was actually like ecstasy. And like when we talk about like rolling in barns and having like light parties, we did it all the time, and it was the stupidest thing. Like, but we loved it, and it was so accessible to us. And my friends,
which is crazy because a lot of people who used to do X and stuff would look at people who like have done meth before or something, be like,
that's what they did. My other friends would,
and be like, oh my god, you're doing meth, but like you're just eating it, right? Like there's a lot of those little colorful pills that we all had that were full of meth.
Laced
They're
with
like
so many
it would
things.
be like the Molly part or the X part, and then they'd fucking throw something else in there.
Absolutely. I remember like not sleeping at times because you knew it was like cut with something. But again, I didn't really care about my life back then.
Well,
it felt like my friends were doing heroin
too.
and meth, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just a teenager. I can do whatever. Obviously, like I'm even sober from alcohol, so I call myself like Cali sober. I've been sober for like 2-3 years now. But
shout out to
you. Thanks.
No, because I don't drink alcohol either anymore. One, it destroys me, but number two, it destroys me. So
it would just make my depression so much worse. And I actually have done the microdosing mushies protocol. Like, is it the Fadiman protocol or the Fadiman?
Look, so I don't abide by anybody's different regimens and stuff with microdosing because I listen to my body, let my body talk. That's it, my body has always been different than a lot of people. Like I've had buddies in the army that would be able to like drink soda and coffee, like that's it, and no water, and like I do that and my body's screaming, I'm in a bad mood, you know what I mean? So I do the like I don't really microdose anything.
No.
I macro or don't do it.
I will not. For me, it's like I don't need to trip. I don't need to have like this huge experience. But like the microdosing in small amounts would help me whether I knew it or not. Like I didn't do any of this stuff. Like I don't smoke cannabis so I can feel high. I smoke cannabis because I know later on I can be more patient or I can be more playful. So that's what it does for me. And I just wanted to like see if there's a big difference again because I love research, and we call these things like withdrawal design. So you like 2 days on, 2 days off, or like a week without your treatment, a week without the treatment, and like then you really are figuring out like how you respond differently, what brain connections are differently, how I feel differently. Am I more tired when I don't do it? Do I have more headaches? Do I, like you said, how does your body react? Do you feel more pain on the days when you don't microdose?
This is crazy because I've thought about a lot of this stuff with the ketamine treatments and everything. I just didn't know there were terms and stuff for it. But definitely for sure. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I always come at it with like a science aspect, and if it's going to actually make me feel better, what I can do, what I can tweak to feel better.
I've done that with the ketamine where I've like, okay, this has helped me get to a point now. And then more recently, about week and a half ago, I tried to do another treatment, and I told them like, no, I just like I already learned it. Like this helped me learn the coping skills to be able to handle these situations. Now I feel like it's just excessive, and I'm almost like misusing it, and I'm like, okay, I don't need this right now. It's a great tool, and I can put it, in the
Yeah.
put a pin in this and come back to it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you haven't done the microdosing or?
Microdosing, yes.
Okay,
Macro,
sorry.
no, not since like high school, but
That's something that we all need to sit down with and try sometimes, but you have to be ready.
yeah, oh, definitely. And the points in my life where I think I've wanted to, I would never go there. Like my mental capacity, like my dreams are crazy enough. Like I could
Oh my
not.
gosh.
I don't want to open that can of worms.
I've been seeing some crazy shit lately because I've been trying to focus more on sleeping,
Yeah.
but I feel like I'm having psychedelic trips during my sleep.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But with microdosing, macrodosing, and everything, again, set and setting. I think it's really like I need to I may even try some today, because I've been kind of doing that, avoiding tripping or something. Like I want to have the fun part of it, but the other part, I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that right now,
Yeah.
because I'm not going over everything that I have going on in my life. But
Yeah.
I got some real big stressors right now, but I'm figuring it out. So I'm just been like, I don't know if I want to do that. But every time I've ever had a trip where I was stressing about something or it exposed part of myself to me, on the other side of it, I was like floating on a cloud. So
Yeah.
I think this is the universe talking right now,
yeah.
saying like, you can just fucking do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So there may be a macro coming on in the future today. I talk a good game, but then I get home and just like you and I have said, like get drained. And then I'm like, yeah, that was a great idea. Let me just think about it. Man, that would have been fun. I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, no, for real though.
And then more and more like, oh, I've also seen, and so if people are interested in ketamine, also look it up, but you can now go to your doctor.
Isn't it expensive?
It's very expensive.
Just saying.
But
I have looked into it.
But my life is like, I don't know, like I needed to turn my life around.
Yeah.
So like investing in yourself is, I think,
That's
very much
true.
worth it.
Yeah.
And I'm an expensive bit.
Well,
I mean, look at all I get my hair. No, I'm just kidding.
My kids, that's where my money goes to.
Well, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, I have no kids.
I want them to be the happiest kids ever and have the best childhood.
Yeah.
So I'll struggle. They just don't have to know.
But what I was getting at is, when you talk to your doctor, they now have it in a nasal spray, the ketamine.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that thing is. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I haven't.
I have wanted to try it, and I think if I wasn't so successful with my microdosing and whatever I else have going on, then I would go there. But
I can
what
talk
I'm doing
to the
works.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. If anybody's interested, I can talk to like the clinic that I work with, but I'm a veteran, so they give me a discount and so on and so forth. So there's a little bit there that I don't tell everybody. But
if you're depressed, though, I mean, like
depressed or like especially like if you're super reactive and angry a lot, it helps because it puts that monster in the back. And the greatest thing, and we'll get into the next segment after the break coming up, but the greatest thing that I ever heard recently was from Mike Tyson. So I'm a veteran, right? Yeah. And I had to be that scary guy. As much as I don't look like that scary guy, when I get in my gear, I'm that scary guy. Oh, yeah. But I don't have to be that guy anymore. I don't have to pretend like I'm the Terminator or I'm super tough or any of that shit. I can just be the funny guy now, and that's it. So he helped me. That personality helped me save myself and protect myself from others for a long time. But it's just not useful out in the civilian world.
No,
people don't understand it either.
Nope. And I think for me, I wasn't angry, but I was not allowed to show any emotions growing up. Not be angry, not be sad. So I just tucked it all away. And then when I had my own kids, it was all these kids are made to push our buttons, to push our boundaries. We have all these unhealed traumas that they're triggering us. And it's like they're doing it because we give them a safe environment. But once I had them, I'm like, I'm really not over this shit. And I would be so angry. And that's what alcohol made me. It made me depressed. It made me angry. And
resentful and stuff.
But there's so much research about ketamine with it, and I want to see it with individuals who have autism. See it like a behavioral aspect and see, because some of us have
I feel it's
emotional
hard.
regulation.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard too because as much as they've diagnosed me in different things, I believe I'm partially on the spectrum somewhere. I believe a lot of us are, if not all of us, if we start looking into the stuff.
Yeah,
so
you were just called the R word back then.
Oh yeah.
I won't say it.
Yeah, no. You can go on Call of Duty right now and hear that word if you really want to. Unfortunately,
that's my number one trigger.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It's so toxic on there. I just so I immediately go on there and just start muting people. I'm like, because even if I'm playing a toxic game, I'm still like, I don't. My energy is not going to be spent arguing with you, and you're on my team. So I'm gonna light up one of these things here real quick. But we're about to go to break. But I was gonna ask which one you want, but they're both Gelato 41, so we're smoking Gelato 41. But Made, shout out to them again. Shout out to I believe it was Bert that hit me up on the comments and stuff. If you have any questions or anything about stuff, hit go down to that comment section, and hit something up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to break, and then we'll be back with mental health as well. And we're back, and I'm trying to light a joint. Sorry.
Struggles.
Hey, also, just real quick, you see these things? We got a merch store.
Pretty exciting.
I talk all about this Wii stuff. It's really me. The royal Wii, everybody. The royal Wii. So, I'm gonna hit this. I think I know how to smoke a joint.
You think?
This is good. Like I said, last time, I've had the gelato. I've had so much gelato in this valley.
Yeah.
Everything's got gelato in it. I'm kind of a little over it, but this is a good version. So I can't be mad at it.
Actually, don't look too much into the strains or
oh my god!
I know I should.
You're talking about research
and all that.
Research and nerding. That's me right there.
Well, my preferred consumption is edibles just because of my lifestyle, and yeah.
And we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But we'll go ahead and jump into our next segment, which is mental health is wealth. Good weed. All right. So mental health is wealth. Me being a veteran, PTSD, all sorts of stuff. Not a lot of people know I had a mental breakdown this past January, February, and I checked myself in because it's okay to take a little vacation time out and stuff. We need to destigmatize that because I care about you all, and a little time out, which a lot of them is only a couple days.
That's so scary, though. You don't realize how strong you have to be to go there.
Oh, believe me.
And accept it.
Oh, believe me. I had to hit all sorts of rock bottom.
Yeah.
But it was so much worth it. It refocused me and everything like that, and kind of pushed me back on the path of what this is right here, which is I'm really trying to help people talk. The reason I talk about all the bad things in my life is because I want people to feel not so alone.
Absolutely.
And I hope someone can relate. I'm sure you're well versed in mental health, so if you could just enlighten the viewers, listeners and stuff, watchers. This is weed.
Yeah. So I mean, probably when I turned 12 or 13, I really noticed my mental health took a tank, and now at 34.
No way.
Yeah, 34.
Fucking 20s. You look 20s.
No.
I'm old, dude.
34. I learned
we did it. I don't know what we didn't plan on doing it, but we did it.
It has a lot to do with like my hormones and learning about my body again and like how I respond to things. But severely depressed, and I had parents who did not believe in like anxiety, depression, nothing. So I was
like they didn't believe it existed, or what the that's that what was that dude that had that late night something Miller. I don't know, he was a really smart ass mother, but he was always like, quit blaming your parents, like who the fuck else do I blame? But
no,
sorry,
for
go
real.
ahead.
Like again, I was raised in like what was supposed to look like a perfect family, like to a T. Like we went to Catholic church, looked like a perfect family, and I was just fucking miserable my entire life. Everything I felt, because of mostly the way I was raised, I felt shameful. I felt horrible about like who I was.
That's that Midwest.
It really is. They'll shame the shit out of you. So I always say like I would have died if I would have stayed there, and that's serious though. Like it was not for me. So I just had to up and leave. And then, like I said before, kids will bring out like that trauma in you, that unhealed trauma. And you know, I finally, once I had my like second kid, I started seeking out more help for it, doing more meditation, more everything, because when I have my kids, and this has only been in the like past year, have I felt like a big change, but like I would go and sit in my closet and I would just cry because I'm like, I have to be here for them. I have to do all these things, but right now life just sucks.
But like you were putting yourself on pause. Like I got to do all this shit for them, but I don't really have the time to process this shit.
I have a job the burnout rate is incredible in my field. Like you don't keep therapists along for very long at all, rather than like months. So I've been working in my field for 8 years, and I can't take a break. I can't check myself into somewhere. I always have to just keep going, because if I pause, if I ever have a breakdown, then I can't keep my job. Because I work with kids, because I work with like, you know, the therapy side. And if I'm not mentally healthy, then I can't help other people, which absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, but no. That's something that needs to change too, because you're not even allowing people to be human. Like there is nobody that is perfect that can not ever go through anything. And that's how they set up. See, I'm getting mad about things that make people sad, and like,
no, it's just.
But I want to like it's just very frustrating for me.
But it makes sense, because I have seen people who are in the field who can't handle their emotions, who are depressed, and then it affects
every
the
therapist
treatment.
has a problem.
So like, you can take a break from providing services or working in my field, which is fine. But like, I have high standards for myself. I have goals, and I know that I have to be this certain person at work and this certain person at home, which is why I had to take my mental health into my own hands, because I'm like, I can't keep medicating myself when it actually doesn't solve the root of the problem. It just is like a Band-Aid.
Shit. Yeah. That's rough. But that's still like there needs to be like a leeway for people, especially. And what exactly do you like?
I work as a behavior analyst. Yeah, with kids who have autism.
Okay.
So I analyze their behavior. I write treatment plans, skill acquisition programs, behavior reduction programs, and then we have like a behavior technician implement the treatment.
I think I would want someone who takes their mental health way more seriously in that position than someone who has to hide it. Like
Yeah.
I think, but that's the society that we've got us built around us, and
Yes.
it's going to take a long time to
Yeah.
reshape that.
Well, I will say, like, the company I work for, they'll be like, "Hey, do you need a mental health day?" And I'll be like,
What the fuck?
"Absolutely." That's why I've been with them for 8 years, because they understand, like, real life is real life, but you still, because I'm board certified, I have to go along with the board.
Shout out at least for fucking that. Like, I
Yeah.
have never been in a job that, like, you want a mental health day? Like, great. Have it on Saturday on your day off.
Yeah, no, straight up. Like,
Fuck.
I will not leave this company because they understand, like, a lot of their workers and employees are neurodiverse and all that. But I think,
That's definitely me.
yeah, because, like, the way I am and working on myself, I can help support the families, the kids, everything, because I can empathize and sympathize with them. So,
Absolutely.
but I couldn't do that if I didn't take care of my mental health.
Well, for sure, but there's going to be times where like people get a little overwhelmed, and that needs to be
Yeah.
understood as well.
Yeah.
One thing, other than this hair in my face, one thing about mental health that, like, especially during this season, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving and all that.
Yeah.
Happy belated Thanksgiving. I don't know.
Or
if you-
National Mourning Day.
or that too.
Sorry, had to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I'm driving around right now, and people don't give two shits about anybody else.
No.
And I just, like, I hope to challenge the people that listen and watch this to
Yeah.
maybe take that extra step and just let that mean asshole just, like, go, and
Yeah.
actually wish him, like, on a, like, have a good day. Like,
Yeah.
I hope it changes for you,
Yeah.
and, like, mean that shit. And I promise things will change, because, like, the more we do that kind of shit, I think that it really helps. But all I've seen is just people reacting viciously to people, cutting people off, and it just kind of makes me sick and, like, makes me want to stay home.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you just always treat people with kindness, and being kind is absolutely free. So instead of, like, attacking them or, like, being petty or whatever, it's like, what is wrong with you? Like, what's wrong? Like, how can I help you? You certainly feel some sort of way. You're certainly really angry about something.
Yeah.
So what is it? What's wrong? It's clearly not me. It's not my driving. It's not whatever. But what's the root of the problem?
Right. That, and it's kind of like you're saying, they're it's not you. They're just
Yeah.
reacting
Yeah.
because they were just waiting for something.
Yeah, exactly. If they have to hold it in that they had a shitty time with their family, or their family's disappointed in them. Something I mentioned the other day on my stories was, like, you have to realize your values might not align with your family's values. And I think once I personally realized that, my anxiety almost completely diminished. Like, I don't care how my family views me or my parenting or my lifestyle at all, but these are my values and this is how I feel. And if you look on the outside, you're going to realize that, like, I'm really happy. You're really miserable with your values. You feel really shamed for whatever it is, or for living someone else's expectations rather than your own.
Yeah. Anytime that I've ever, like, responded or anything like that, almost immediately I'm like, it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Like, it had nothing to do with you. Fucking, I was just in a bad mood and shit like that. So I also think this too, like, we got to watch our cycles. Like, a lot of, like, things that I've noticed, like, when I get pissed off, especially because on the side, when I want a little extra money to buy the little extra shit that I buy, I go do deliveries and stuff like that, and I'll be getting pissed off. I'm like, oh, of course you're in the fucking right lane and not turning right now, and I gotta sit behind your stupid ass. And then, like, half an hour to an hour later, guess who's in the right lane, not turning right and blocking someone else?
Yeah.
This guy. So I'm like, oh shit, I'm yelling at myself. The the craziest thing is not realizing the world is a mirror and yelling at that fucking mirror.
Yes, you do really, honestly, like, you plant these seeds and you're going to see what grows from the seeds that you plant in the universe, the earth, the conversations you have, the friendships you have.
Shit, even just going to do the shit that you like, especially for us that have a lot of bad anxiety.
Yeah.
Just doing the shit that you planned on doing that day will, like, is a whole nother thing. I get scared and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing shit, and then I feel like shit at the end of the day. I'm like, if I just would have went out and did something, I would feel great.
Yeah.
But no, I guess I hate myself.
Yeah, you can't like get yourself into your head, because again, if I always was in my head about my anxiety or something, I would not be able to give my kids the childhood that they deserve. They would never go to a birthday party. They would never go to the park because I don't want to talk with someone.
Shout out to all moms.
All moms. Just
Shout out to
kidding.
you. Well, shout out to. Well, yeah. I'm not gonna be like, no, not that mom.
No,
Well, definitely my mom. Shout out, mom.
not my mom. Just kidding. Maybe. You just have to try. And I feel like if you try and genuinely love your kid, that's what matters. Because I don't want to fuck up my kid, you know?
Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, I can't really speak too much on kids. I don't have kids. So we're just gonna jump into our last segment. Be political about that. No, I'm just kidding. I just don't have anything to add as for kids. My bad.
Love
I'm
kids.
high. Kids are great.
Plug talk.
Plug talk. What's up with this one? All right, fuck. All right. I was just sitting here smoking.
I'm good.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're doing great. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. So Plug Talk is all about promo and what we have coming up. You want to tell everyone where they can reach you at and shit like that. And I'm like, I can't talk because
You're dying
Yeah.
over there. Yeah, I'm basically on
Drink water.
Instagram mostly. TikTok, I started back up, kind of over there. But yeah,
TikTok. I don't do it, but go check it out.
Yeah.
What is your?
Conscious Calm Chaos.
Oh, you got it on all of it.
Yeah, I switched it because it used to be something else, but then I had to re-switch it.
It's been switched.
It has.
All right. So at Conscious Calm Chaos on Instagram, TikTok,
That's it.
Truth was the Truth Social. Oh my
No,
God. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God! Don't even. You said you really want to get political.
I know,
here.
right? As soon as I said some shit like that, my high ass is like, "Hey, that's the truth's thoughts. Like, say something like that."
Threads. You can find
So,
me Threads. Or
Threads,
Real
yeah,
life.
or X.
Sometimes I go to those
I don't
Canna Mom
do any of
events.
that.
Shout out.
Oh yeah, shout out events.
Yeah, you'll see me there. I actually go to a lot of cannabis events.
I'm kidding. Just like shout out events. The weed's kicking in, y'all. I have a whole like Saturday Night Live going on in my head, and I know it's Sunday. So Plug Talk. All right. So what we have going on, if you haven't, so we don't have an ashtray, but we do have these mugs that hold liquid, also hold ash when you're done with the liquid. Or it could have liquid in it and it still holds ash, but someone might get confused. But it does wrap around and have the handshake right here because that's that bond that we agreed to always bring is shit that is pretty cool. I hope it's cool. I like it. But shout out to Alien Labs. A lot of good gear and stuff like that. Sin City Seeds, Sin City Style. All of them have a lot of stuff going on. I think I just bought a couple more hoodies from Alien, or hoodies, beanies. I know words from them.
You have one on right now?
Yeah, I have one on right now. But it's not one of the new ones that I bought. But yes, I have a hoodie and a beanie on. I look like, as I've been told, a douchebag, but that's okay.
You asked.
I did ask, but sometimes the mirror don't lie. Sometimes maybe I'm just a douchebag. It's all right. We deserve love too. So next week I do have, as long as everything goes through and everybody's schedule works out, I do have the Hippie Life Chronicles at 1 p.m. And then at 2 p.m. I have Emily Diamond. She's a mindful mindset person. She's actually in Australia.
Oh.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing that through video and live and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Cool accent. But yeah. So, do you have anything else that you wanted to like bring up? Nope. Okay.
No.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you coming out. I'm high. I need to put this down. Shout out again to Made. Flower is amazing. Will be more stuff coming out. I'm trying to do something here soon with Canna Planet, but I'm not telling anybody what it is until it happens. And then the next
Secret.
week, real quick, next week after this Sunday will be Dankonomics from Project PAX, Blueprint, Made, as well. And then that's at 1 p.m. And then 2 p.m. is Mr. Boofman, previously of Canna Cribs, and LA Devil Lettuce will be here. It's going to be a dope one. I got a little bit, he did a little like fan art, but he kind of did his promo pictures and stuff. It looks
Oh,
pretty
okay.
cool. I'll show you when we get off here. But thank you, everybody. Big shout out to Habari Entertainment. You want to shout out your stuff real quick?
Yeah, definitely. We just go to barentertainment.com for all your news and media updates, and that's it.
Awesome. Reach me or the Healing Chefs at the_Healing Chefs on Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. The Healing Chefs. If you want to reach me on Instagram, just go through the Healing Chefs, because trying to explain my name is sometimes silly. All right, so make sure you tap in, smoke up, trip out. We love you. Peace out. Have a great day.